Hey everyone, it is amazing how Friday has turned out to be. What are we looking at here on crypto and stocks? Hey, this is CeoTrades where money works for you. Today is Friday and we're looking at a turn in current events. Why is this happening? There is a group called Anonymous that has made a major threat to the Russians, to Putin. And how does this affect the overall market? Well, we can see there's a sell off. There's a huge sell off. There's a lot of the coins that are being sold off. People are worried now. Why is there worry? Because of this threat to Russia, which was intended to get Russia to stop the attacks on the Ukraine, which I understand. However, it creates an overall impact on the market. You can see here in crypto, you can see that Bitcoin, Doge is on a downtrend. Bitcoin is on a downtrend. You can see it there. Ethereum is probably a little bit up. Well, it's on a downtrend as well. XRP is on a downtrend. So are all the other coins. They are all on a downtrend. You can see them here quickly. I'm not even going to stop to show you. You can just see that there's sort of a slide, and that slide means that there is uncertainty in the markets. People are afraid. So what do? They dump. They sell off. There's a huge sell-off. This can happen for the next 24 to 72 hours, probably 2 to 3 days on average. Now, what do you do? How do you take advantage of this? Number one, watch as these coins drop and wait until you see there's a consolidation period. When that consolidation period comes, which might be perfect, might not be perfectly chosen by you, it depends on your level of investing, then you're able to jump back in at a lower rate and take advantage of this. I'm not cashing out. I'm going to stick it. I'm going to stay with it. I'm going to ride it out. There are several reasons why I'm writing it out, but we're not going to go into that here. What we're going into here is how can you protect yourself from groups such as Anonymous in reference to protecting your information, your privacy on your computer, and so on. There are several ways. Number one is you have a camera on your laptop, on your phone, and so on. You need to be able to cover that regularly because people can track you. There are ways that they can find your camera and see what you're doing, whether it's private or not, and assume that you're doing things normal, but they will be able to see whatever it is that you're doing, whether you want them to see or not. So just be careful on these cameras that exist. That's number one. Number two is passwords. Passwords are very important. As you are getting into investing, you're putting money into different accounts, into different exchanges, into different wallets, and you want to be certain that your passwords are secure. Well, number one, before you go into the passwords, make sure that your internet security level is set to low privileges. If you don't know how to set that up, search it up. Search it up on one of these search engines. I like Brave Engine or DuckDuckGo. You can search it up wherever you feel most comfortable, or maybe even YouTube or something like that. Number two is outbound data. You should protect it as well as the inbound. Inbound data can be dangerous at times, but also outbound. People will want to know what you are sending outbound. Be very careful what you send outbound. Passwords in general. I used to use this site called How Secure Is My Password, and that site is gone. Now it's called security.org. Security.org is the same thing. What do? Is you enter your password and it tells you how secure it is, whether it can be broken in a day, in a few seconds, in a few years, or thousands of years. This is a way to make a more stronger password. Using passwords such as a password manager can also assist. There are many different password managers out there. I don't want to really mention one out there, but there's one that's mentioned in this security.org website. It's RoboForm. You don't have to use the one that they mentioned, but just as an example, you can see what it does, and you can decide what you want to do from there. Maybe even using two different password managers. It depends. Please read up and do the research around it. Repeated patterns are easier to predict. Well, if you are going to put in your password Apple 1111, It's easy to predict that password. And if you put it in security.org, I'm certain it's going to take just a few seconds to break in or a few hours to break in. It's not difficult. This is a wild statistic. 45% of Americans use passwords of 8 characters or less. 8 characters or less, meaning it's very easy to break into. What is recommended by security.org? That you use 16 to 20 characters that include letters, numbers, and characters. Use a combination. It's very, very useful. Don't use personal info such as your birth date or your phone number or your address in your passwords because those are easy to find, easy to break into. Don't use consecutive letters or numbers, and do not use the word password in your password because that is one of the automatic searchable passwords that there is out there. Using a VPN. VPN is to hide your location, but is also used for privacy. Very important because hackers will check where you are, at what time you are there, and how you are utilizing your information. So just be very careful. Identity theft is very important in the sense of being protected against it. Identity theft is happening more and more. I got my information stolen from Equifax, I believe it's what it was, or Experian, one of the two credit reporting agencies. And now I need to protect myself. How do I protect myself? Well, you set a fraud alert on the actual credit reporting agency if you're in the USA. If you are outside of the USA, then you need to figure that one out. But you can also put a fraud alert, depending. If you're in some type of military duty, active service, it's even better for you. You should be able to set that up much easier than most people. Just be aware that as you are getting ready to invest, these are some of the precautions you should be taking care of. Maybe not overnight, but you don't have to change your passwords every month. You don't have to change them every 2 months. If you make them long enough, they are much tougher to crack. Unless you feel that something's wrong, you don't have to change it every so often. If you want to change them every year, every 6 months, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There are some sites that do recommend changing them often. But these coins that we're looking at here, get ready and keep them in your scope because they're dropping. I've seen my account drop about $10,000 in the last week or so, and I will be getting ready to invest in them again. You can see Bitcoin is down to 39,000. It's probably going to drop a little bit more to around 37, 36 or so. Ethereum is at 26, and it's probably going to drop to around 2,300, and we'll jump back in and take at least a coin or half a coin of some of these. XRP is at 71 cents. You can see it's dropped from its 88 cents when I was alerting that a few days ago. And this one's at 70 cents. It's probably going to drop below to closer to the 50 cent area, maybe 60 cent area. Solana's at 88 right now. It's probably going to drop somewhere into the low 80s, mid 70s. Shiba Inu is down at 0.4023. It'll probably drop to closer to 0.4020. ADA Cardano is at 84 cents right now. It's probably going to drop to closer to 80 cents maybe. Just keep an eye on this as people start to become aware of the news, because in crypto, most investment people who are in this market get the news relayed a day or two later. Polygon Matic is at 147. Why is it that they get their news later? Because they tend not to look at the markets steadily, actively, as people do in the stock market. This one will probably drop to the 120-ish, 130-ish area, Polygon Matic. And Doge is at 12 cents. Will it drop somewhere? It probably might drop to 11 cents, maybe even 10 cents. It's a good time to repurchase some, because if you take a look at history, it repeats itself. Meaning, Bitcoin has dropped immensely. I have a picture of Bitcoin when it dropped almost back to its starting levels, and then it shot right back up within several weeks, several months, and people made their money. Doubled, tripled. Amazing. I'm not saying you're going to get those types of returns, but you are going to get some returns. As I say, if you want to double your bank account, why don't you invest in your knowledge account so that your money market account will grow multiplied? Stay safe. Make sure you take care of your passwords. Make them longer. Don't keep them to 8 characters as 45% of Americans do. Take care.